when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Guys, welcome back. New year, new fucking gear. Today we've woke up, me and Bib, in sleepiness, and we've found a fucking Line 6 DT25. We've been after testing one of these bad boys out for a while now. A lot of people are kind of sucking Fractal's balls at the minute, and as you know, it's quite an expensive outlay to get yourself a Fractal and an amp, and even though Matrix amps are as sweet as a 9-bob, but we've got this DT25, so we're going to do a bit of a series, we think, on this amp. Been playing about with it all day. Really, really good. You know, I'm a bit of a champion for Line 6. A lot of people are ragging on them at the minute, and no surprises really. The Spider range was shit, but they are good.
Because you love your little Vector.
Love. She's mighty pretty. She's done me so well. But I have to admit, with an afternoon with this, it's great. You can get some really decent tones out of it, and that's just with the 4 typologies that come before the update. There's an update 2.0 now, which gives you 30 amps, and this is just the 4. But as me and Bib were playing about with it all afternoon, we think the 4's enough really. So can't wait to. We're going to go through the update with you. So we're going to do that and screen capture it and all that shit. And we're also going to run it through the HD 300 because
he's hiding
over there somewhere next to my kinky treats. Some tasty little Christmas treats.
There's no whiskey in that Coke, but there is some Cadbury's animal crackers,
which fucking all you need. Happy fucking New Year. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to chomp a few of them. We're going to crunch a few of this, tone out of that, and we're going to basically run through everything we've got really. So we're going to run it through the Marshall, we'll run it through the Messer, a cab, and then we're going to even run it through these shitty old 1B8 Marshall moth-eaten pricks, because you guys might not have £1,000 worth of cabs, and it's about this amp being the one amp for all people really. Chappers and Andertons have done great reviews of it, so we're not going to go into the fucking arsehole to the elbow, but we're going to just have a little play and see how we get on. So first things first, we'll just go through some of the typologies with you, so let's check that out. Right guys, so that is British Crunch is what we've got it set in at the minute. Gains on full, I'm coil tapped, just to get that valvey chime kind of deal. And it sounds great in the room. I've been watching a few, like as with you guys, I'm a consumer. I've been out there looking at this stuff for about a year, thinking about shopping out the old Vector. And I've been watching a lot of Fractal stuff, and missing that valve-ishness, and this has definitely got it. Of course it has, it's got valves in the power stage. That tone kind of brings it home for me really. Very, very progressive. I'm going to put the humbucker back in, just so you can hear the dynamics really. Sounds really, really good. And what you will notice is I've got a digital delay in the loop as well, just giving me a little, you know, a little slap on there. Never leave home without a bit of delay. Not inclined. And we've got some fairly decent reverb on this as well. With this being pre 2.0, we've only got one reverb option. I think there's 14 on the new update, or 9 or 14 or something. But you can select different reverbs for different typologies, which is really quite good. Right, so what we'll do now is we'll just check out the first typology, which is like a classic-y kind of Fendery clean, which is kind of, even though I'm not a big fan of Fender amps, I do like a Fender clean. Going to take the drive down a bit, take the volume up a bit because the volume does dip a little bit. I'm just going to keep everything where it is, maybe drop a little bit more bass in. And this is what we get with that setting. Quite clean, and that's with the drive on about half. I think you can kind of push it up and don't get a lot of breakup early. Typology 1 is just fucking clean. So that's that. What we'll do now is we'll drop down to Typology 4, which is on channel B. And what I'll do is I'll play a consistent note or a continual note so you can hear the dropout between channels, because that's another question that kind of rears its head on the forums. Is the dropout. Now Fractal have kind of had a bit of an issue with that, and they've changed, they've basically said use your XY, use a separate amp block inside one preset, because there's a latency issue, there's a dropout. There is a dropout on this as well, but with enough time and with a big enough band, you're not really going to notice. Definitely something that you're not going to change your whole preset halfway through a note anyway, really. But I'll play a note and then we'll change over. So there is a little bit of dropout there, but not too bad. Right, so here's our kind of big balls out, meaty, messer, boogie, fat metal riff tone thing. Good tone, straight out the box. We haven't really faffed about with this at all. Not a big fan of messes normally. I'm a Soldano kind of guy, but that sounds pretty fucking mint, like, doesn't it? It ain't bad. And for 450 sheets, man, it's a lot of box for the buck. As I say, I'm running a digital delay in the mix, in the loop, and a little bit of reverb on there as well. But other than that, sounds great. So what we'll do on this setting, because it's quite a big fat tone, we'll go through the Class A, Class AB shit that everyone else has been doing as well, but it might just make more sense here because we're not running through studio equipment and blagging it. We've got no one to please, really. So pentode, triode, pentode, so it's a pentet and tri, really, so it's 3 and 5. The pentode gives you more power, more headroom, slightly clearer. Triode puts you down to 3 power tubes, which sort of saturates a bit quicker. It might get a little bit more muddy, so let's try that. We're currently in pentode. Triode. Couldn't really hear that much of a difference, to be honest with you. Who knows? Yeah. So Class A, Class AB. Now, what we thought and what's expected is that Class A cuts the power to 10 watts, so there's a noticeable difference from Class AB. Class AB's got 2 letters, which suggests that it's got more balls. Well, it did to me anyway, but it isn't the case. Class A is fucking loud. It's an AC 30 kind of power stage, so it kicks the shit out of a 30 watt Class A is going to be louder than a 50 watt Class AB. So we thought there was something up with the amp head. There isn't. That's just the way it is. If you were running on full balls, the Class AB is going to be louder. But Class A just does sound a lot brighter. So let's try it again, Class A, and then we'll switch to Class AB. So as you can see, Class AB appears to be lower. It is, basically. It saturates a little bit better, or a little bit smoother, but I must admit, for the balls, for valvey, gritty, ballsy tone, I'd be using Class A. Just sounds a bit better to me. Chunkier, powerful, and again, guys, if anyone's got any queries about this amp feeling like an amp, it pushes air like nothing I've heard. You know, I'm a big solid state user, so I'm slightly biased and slightly naive because I don't use a lot of valve amps. But this pushes air like no one's business, and we have been to enough trade shows, and we have been in front of Fractals. And don't get me wrong, I'm not ragging on Fractal. We love them. We think they're fucking amazing. And Matrix Amplification, which are kind of twinned with Fractal at the minute. They're a great bunch of guys, and the product is fucking awesome. But we have got to be honest, this is 450 quid's worth of kit. That's 3 grand's worth of kit. So there's a big kind of difference, you know. I'm surprised that a lot more people aren't using this amp, really. I know Rob's kind of using one a bit. I think they used a bit on the album. Beer loves them, you know what I mean? Beer normally uses Black Star and Marshall, but they're a great little amp. So that's how that works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to either in this video or in another video, we'll see, we're going to put the HC300 in and basically do the same thing in relation to Typology 3, which we didn't really touch on in this review. That's your classic kind of AC30 kind of vibe. In fact,
make it happen.
Just let's make it happen, because this is what we can do with this amp. We don't have to lug 3 amps to a gig, or 4. So this is our AC30 kind of tone. So I'm going to put the drive up a little bit, lower the volume down a little bit, and not play any cliche bullshit riffs. So I'll kind of play what I've been playing earlier. Again, with the volume roll off, just so you can see that it will react quite well. It's all good, man.
We must stop and keep